Alrighty guys, hello and welcome back to the show. So today, we've got something that I don't usually do for any of my recordings. Usually I'll do this on stream for FAF Live, but I'm going to bring some tournament coverage y'all's way. So this is the most recent, I believe it was Mini Legend of the Stars, or Mini Lots, if that's how you pronounce it. And today this is the loser bracket final of Turbo 2 versus Turin Turambar, which is a really interesting name. Turin Turambar down here in the southeastern corner going Aeon, opening a first land, second air, while his opponent Turbo 2 is in the northwestern corner going Seraphim, opening first land and second air, which is pretty typical. So don't usually cover a lot of pro level, at least seriously. I did do Jagged versus the Muffin Man, but that one was more of like a comedic cast. So I'm going to do this one a little bit more seriously. Reason why is I was going through looking at some of the replays, and this whole little series, it's a best of three. We'll have each one strung back to back in this video. There's some interesting stuff that happens in this series, and I thought, hey, it'd be funny. It'd be fun to cast. Not funny. No funny. We're not having funny here. We're gonna have, I don't know. I'm lost. Okay. Turbo 2 got Engineer working on a second air factory with adjacency to that hydrocarbon. He's put together interesting build order. I'm sure it's much better than anything I could ever have to offer, but so going land factory, 2 mexes, 3 P-gens, then going for the last mex, and now going for more power, and then going for the air grid. Meanwhile, his opponent, Turin Turambar, is going for more of what I would probably do on this map. So, sorry, buddy, but you're probably wrong, because if you're doing what I'm doing, you're probably mistaken. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'm a genius. Am I a genius? I don't know. Anyway, Turin Turambar going for that second air factory. You got 4 power generators, and he's got 2 engineers working on the hydro with more power adjacency, as well as another land factory set up there. Both these guys with engineers moving out towards the kind of arms. And for you guys that in my last cast talked about how these widgets are too small, there's nothing I can do. Sorry, these don't move. These don't move. The mini map does. The mini map, you can move it around. I can drop it right here in the middle for you, and you can resize it and everything. But the Supreme Scoreboard and everything, it doesn't move. So for that one, guys, I'm sorry, but there's nothing I can do about that one. But as the engineers are expanding out, if we look at Turbo, he's got Tham as well as a Selen and a similar little raiding party over there on the northern half of the map. But pretty standard stuff. He's going to get to work on, this looks to be a naval play. Or actually, let's look. Okay, naval factory goes down. Calm going into the middle, actually, to grab the 4 mexes that are here in the middle. Turin is going for some interceptors, and his column is going to be walking along the southern little land bridge towards this starting location. Got a land factory queued up as well as mexes along the way. So again, Turin is playing this actually very similarly to the way that I play it. Actually, he's playing it way better because he's much faster. But this is kind of usually what I do, is walk the comm across, because in the words of a great and wise man, nothing can stop a comm, except for a lot of units, Anyway, Turbo is going to be the first one into the water with a naval factory. No naval factory as of yet queued up there for Turin. I wonder what Turin Turambar even means. I don't know. Answers in the comments down below if you guys know what that actually means. I tried to define it on Google, and all it did was bring up a bunch of videos from heaven of Turin playing way back in the day. So I have no idea what it means. Might be like an inside joke or something. Naval factory goes up. Second air factory goes up. He's got interceptors queued up out of both of these, and then engineers out of his initial land factory. So nothing too surprising there. Curious when we're going to see any transport action. Trying to drop one side or the other. But right now it's just all interceptors all day, baby, from both players. And Turin dipping his toes into the water with his first naval factory, as well as a torpedo turret to add a little bit of cover. First little air battle happening on the southern side of the map. Turbo's interceptors get actually a pretty good turn there on, and some great stop microing. That was, I think, 4 interceptors versus like 8 or 10. And Turbo's going to come away with like 5 or 6 kills, which is really, really good considering he was outnumbered almost 2-1. Turbo's land factory is, well, I guess he's kind of a land factory, but ACU makes landfall here in the middle. Not a whole lot here from Turin to stop him. Got a Mex, he's got an Aurora, and that Spirit is going to start dinking away at the comm, who is regenning faster than the Spirit can do damage. But hey, you know, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. Unless you've got a huge cannon attached to you, and then yeah, it might be a little bit about the cannon. But either way, I respect the effort. Still not seeing really any transport action. This is a rather unfortunate spot to park your air scouts, though. And Turin seems to be not paying attention to that. As more air scouts, so obviously this is a rally point, and a not good one either. Air scouts are going to die there. And here we go, some transport action. So we've got Turbo airlifting some engineers out to the northeastern corner of the map. No transport though for Turin. Turin's calm, still making his way down along this southern area, grabbing some reclaim as he goes. Misses the big rock, decides to go for trees instead. That transport lost a good amount of its engineers, dropped a couple of them here along the peninsulas, but none of them are going to make it to the starting location, which is not good. Now there's just an air battle happening with interceptors from both sides trying their darndest. That's not good for Turbo, as well, I think it's okay because he does have the middle, but we'll see where Turin's transport is. So Chariot just comes off the line, actually. Engineers coming out to get all loaded up. So that might be 3 corners going the way of Turin. And Turbo, as we saw earlier, not too happy about that. I'm going to disable this engineer mod for the next game. Apologies. But he does have naval superiority. We got 2 frigates parked outside of the bay, ready to tangle with whatever comes out. Or just be a punching bag for some submarines. One of the two. And Turbo actually moving his commander now to that northeastern spot. But Turbo's commander is going to be hard-pressed to, I think, hold that position. Especially because it looks like Turin's Chariot is going to beat it there pretty handedly. Have enough time to get down maybe a couple of land factories before Turbo's comm makes it up there. In the air, though, these guys are still tangling. Because we got a static AA emplacement thrown down by Turbo. It'll definitely give him the edge in that little air engagement. But engineers dropped. That's going to be 3 corners there for Turin. Commander has made its way down to this corner. Gotten down a land factory. From the eco side of things, though, Turbo up by 1k so far. But we would expect to see that swing the other way here pretty soon. Once Turin becomes burrowed in on that northeastern corner. He's also got a couple of these Aurora's little raiding parties just generally being irritating on these peninsulas. Turbo responds with a Sinve. Takes that out. And the frigates are now getting chased away by a sub, which is unfortunate. Another frigate there for Turbo. Will scout out this southwestern corner. Might be able to see Turin's commander. We're walking out. Turin's calm. Not sure where it's going, actually. I can't tell. Don't know whether that's a bug or what. But looks like it's going for the middle island. So we're going to be contesting that middle island. And in the north, Turbo has now made landfall. The Eagle has landed, ladies and gentlemen. The Eagle has landed. And he's going to try and at least get rid of the control that Turin has on this corner right now. A couple of frigates going down in the water to these subs. Turbo does have a sub there, but not going to be able to trade blows with the two subs there for Turin, and we'll go down. So map control definitely looking like it's going Turin's way right now. And Turbo now resorting to floaty Zooey spam to try and get in behind Turin's lines. Both these guys actually picking factions that have access to floating units to try and abuse the lines that will be drawn on the map. And let's look at eco. So Turin with all T1 mexes. Still rocking nope, he's up to T2 air and T1 land still. And let's take a look at what Turbo's doing up here. So we got one T2 mex so far. And he is also a T2 air. And still rolling with T1 land and T1 navy. Just to be expected. But this is starting to become, I think, an annoyance for Turbo more than anything else. It's just these Auroras that keep getting him behind. Taking out the mass extractors, causing him to divert T1 units to respond. Meanwhile, Turin's commander just reclaims all the wall sections around this PD and then goes to work on the land factory. He doesn't actually go in on the PD. And is actually going to take a lot of damage. Okay, there we go. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. There's a point defense there. We should deal with that. As a couple of Spectres come in over the top. We have a couple of Swift Winds mixed in with the Interceptors now. And that is going to be Turbo losing control of the middle island as well. Turbo's still with more massacred at 2.3k or 23k as opposed to 21k there for Turin. He's now being a nuisance down here in the southwestern corner. And Turin gonna lose control of this, actually. Gonna lose that factory. He's only got one Aurora left. There's a Tham and several Zooies. Actually, I spoke too soon. Spectres coming in from the north. Are going to, well, deny this from Turbo, but damage is already done. Turin has lost his factory there, unfortunately. Turbo now going for a T2 upgrade in the northern section of the pond. Things are starting to tighten a little bit for him. He does not look to have... Looks like he has a little bit less air. So he's got 30 interceptors to his name versus Turin with 21, as well as... I can click on it. Click on it. Let me click on it. Okay, I give up. I counted like 5 Swift Winds in there, so we'll just go with that. Take a caster's word, caster's code of honor. I would never lie to you guys. There's 5 Swift Winds in there that I saw. So it doesn't have great air control right now. It's at least a dead heat as far as fighter air superiority. And in the naval game, Turin's had these 2 subs just kind of like walking around, taking out frigates. You got 6 kills on them. Now we'll see that air engagement. As Turin gets a couple of really, really good turns, and that is going to mop up all of Turbo's interceptors. That's not what you want to see. And Turbo goes ahead and throws out the GG here. Which is fair, you know. Transfers everything over to the civilians. Says, civilians of Eye of the Storm, win this game for me. That is it for the replay. Can't really fault him for that though, right? He lost control of that corner, lost control of the middle. He had kind of denied this corner, but wasn't really making any headway. Was still up on overall mass accrued at 27k versus 26k there for Turin. But I think some of that mass did go into upgrading to T2 mexes. He had a second one on the way, and Turin was still working with all T1 mexes as far as I can tell. So definitely threw all of his mass into upgrades and units and ended up allowing him to secure more of the map a little bit quicker. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into the second game. I will be right back with you. All right, getting into second game here. We've got Turbo on the northern half of the map, going Aeon, opening first land, and we've got Turin on the southern side of the map, also going Aeon. So we'll go to split screen, which is something I didn't do last game, but I definitely should have. And take a look at their openings. I'm not sure why Aeon is encouraged on this map. I don't know, both of these guys went Aeon. Maybe they're comfortable with Aeon on this particular map, but I'm not sure why. Floating doesn't really seem like something that you could abuse, and it seems like there are other factions that have like a stronger T2 phase that could be important on this map, like Ilshiva's. And then you got Cybran with really, really good rating potential. I don't know. So I'm not sure why you go Aeon on this map and why both of them did it. But either way, as we're looking at the game, it looks like we've got for Turin here, grabbing his mexes, going 2 P-gens, series more P-gens queued up here. And then I think he's going next for a land and then air, more energy, and then more land factories. Turbo playing it a little bit more with a slower roll here. Got his comm, securing, looks like all of his mass. Yep, all the mass is in build range. Then going for energy, second air actually, instead of going third air, which I've actually really enjoyed going third air. Ooh, Turbo's walking his comm there a little bit. Miscalculated the build range just a smidgen there. I actually really like going third air. I think it's really nice to get that second land factory up. Yeah, you just noticed. I think it's really nice to get that third land factory up, so that then you can put out some units to cover while still cranking engineers out. Yeah, that's it. ACU walked. GG. Turin moves on. 2-0. Nah, it's not that bad. So power generators getting queued up. More power getting queued up as well. Turbo not deciding yet what he wants to go third. I think he's definitely going second air. Unless there's a factory somewhere else that I don't know about. Turbo calling for a re. I don't know if that's allowed. Oh, they're both going second air actually. Is that allowed? Where you do like, can you call it re like in the first couple minutes in tournaments? I know in Age of Empires you can do that, like in the first 4 minutes or something. If you're just like, yep, this map, I don't like the map gen, or I got my boar stolen, you can, I think nobody is watching. Joke's on you, buddy. Okay, we're gonna go back to single screen now because we got some raids that are happening. Got a flare as well as a spirit making their way over from Turin, and a flare and a spirit. A pair of them actually making their way over from Turbo. I don't know why I thought that the rating composition would be different between the two players, considering they're the same faction, but you know what? I'm gonna live with it. Several reclaim orders queued up there for Turbo on some of this juicy rock reclaim that is sitting along that cliff. And I think we're gonna have our first casualty of the game. Hello? There we go. He's got him now. Pew, 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 pew. Goodbye, engineer. There was another casualty at the same time up here for Turbo. And there is a bomber inbound on a nice little group of 3 engineers. And he is going to get all of them. Yeah, buddy. Bomber moving around to make another pass. Interceptor just now coming out there for Turbo. As that interceptor is doing some insane acrobatics there. The bomb actually dropped on the interceptor. Way to put your life on the line there, buddy. Saving the civilians at all cost. Meanwhile, on the southern side of the map, Turbo has his own bomber, and he is going to get some tasty revenge here, right? Yeah, he is. It's 3 engineers down. Interceptor will be able to take it out, though, probably before it gets another pass. Turbo's done a good amount more damage, though, with his labs, I think. I've counted 2 engineers going down so far. Although there is a lab still back here for Turin. I'm hoping I'm not mixing these guys' names up. I'm having like this weird effect in my brain that I keep calling Turbo Turin. I don't know why, but I hope I'm doing it correctly. It's just, it's just caster things, We get unsure of ourselves. We're like, did I say that? Did I see that? I definitely missed that ACU kill. Oh, well, it's okay. Either way, these 2 labs are still rolling around in the back of, well, actually, I said that. This lab, he's going to get reclaimed. Good heads up play there from Turbo. And this lab is going to run into an Aurora. And it looks like he's going to make it, actually. But these 2 labs are still running around causing issues in the back of Turin's base. Scout should pick up a read on that engineer. And we'll see if this lab actually gets redirected. But Turbo moving his comm out. As another bomb. Oh, that was not good. Turbo just lost his entire power grid. What's that doing to him? Oh, he's still okay. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. But Commander is going to clean up all of these Auroras. Saying, get off my lawn. Does have static AA in place as well. Is really sick of these bombers from Turin. And I keep waiting for these labs to grab another kill. Oh yeah, here we go. Another juicy engineer kill. And killed a mechs as well. Hero lab, baby. Guy's got 3 kills on him. It's the stuff dreams are made of. And nightmares if you're Turin, but it's all about the dreams. It's all about the dreams. We ignore the nightmares. A little bit of a run-by attempt there for Turin. Is going to run into a handful of Auroras. Did bag an engineer kill, though. It was reclaiming. Or no, those are Auroras or scouts or something. They were something. There was something there. Something died. The Auroras killed something. Which is not something you can say too often about Auroras, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. But looking at the overall T1 production, it's not looking good for Turbo right now. We've got 37 Auroras on the field for Turin. And for Turbo, we're rocking a solid 17. So yeah, 2-to-1 odds on Turbo for T1 land. Turin is going to throw away his scouts, though. That's what you call a mass donation. Look at that. There's like 7 mass there to be collected. What are you doing, Turin? Sending in your scouts like that. Turbo. All of his units seem to be in the right place at the right time. He's going to win a good fight here. Comm is forward. Where is Turin's commander? Turin's commander advancing. So these guys are like mirroring each other's movements. It's almost like there's a meta for this map or something. I mean, I don't know. I just go in and headbutt the keyboard and hope that it works. Sometimes it does. Other times I get sniped by T1 bombers, It's a toss-up. It's a toss-up. Air control, though, definitely looking to be in Turin's favor right now. Undoubtedly because Turin just absolutely sodomized Turbo's power grid early on in the game. And that is allowing Turin to gain control of one of the expansion points to the northern end of the map. Turbo with all of his factories on pause right now. What is he doing with his mass? I'm not sure what he's doing with his mass right now. Maybe he's upgrading mexes? Yeah, he's upgrading a mex. But a little raiding party getting around here, bagging a couple of mexes. Both of them were queued up to upgrade, but I think they were both on pause, so no mass invested, which is good. We also got a little drop up here in the north. Turin's just all over this. We're really taking advantage of that early advantage he got by taking out Turbo's power grid. Really pushing that advantage to its maximum here. We got drops, we got expansion. Turbo did grab this southern expansion though, which I missed. Caster blind, it's okay. These engineers, these poor engineers. They did know what hit them. It was an Aurora. This is like an Aeon Civil War. Is that in lore? I can't remember. Like the princess fighting like somebody else who was also Aeon. I can't remember. Campaign people, weigh in down below, please. I played the campaign through once like 2 years ago, and I can't remember all of it. Another dropout for Turin, making its way uptown as opposed to downtown. He's going to go out, most likely cut in. Might be dropping this second plateau. This raid still not dealt with. This is the raid that killed those two mass extractors. And now they're going to pick up several more on the rear plateau there for Turbo. It's a bummer. It's a big time bummer. Mega bummer. Big oof. Mega oof. And T2 Air is on the field as well. 3 Spectres now moving in, doing some damage. We are not at T2 Air yet for Turbo, who has really just now gotten his feet under him as far as power goes. He is up at T2 Land though. So he's got T2 Engineers rolling off. That's our first one right there. Right now working primarily with Static AA as well as an Ascendant. Has also been positioned. That mobile flak will be very helpful. And finally this raiding party gets dealt with. Let's check eco numbers here real quick. So we are not at T2 Land. No, we are not at T2 Land there for Turin. Going full commitment for T2 Air. We have 1, 2, 3, and an upgrading mechs to T2. As the Spectres continue to terrorize the ground units. And for Turbo, we're at 1, 2, 3, and another one upgrading to T2 on the mech side. So pretty close as far as mass. These guys are dead heat as far as overall mass accrued. 29 to 28. Turbo really just trying to hang on in the air game right now though. And lots of build power prioritizing this T2 power generator. He's not made the jump to T2 Air yet though, so now we're going to see the gunships move around in the back. Static AA is set up. I think there are enough Spectres though to just laser those bad boys down. And Turbo I think is going to have to dive and try and respond to this as best he can. Going for gun range upgrade. Right now. And is trying to harass around the sides with a bomber. So doing pretty good. Picked off a mechs up there. And bringing in the Ascendant to deal with the gunships as best he can. Only going to take out a couple of them though before the Ascendant gets lasered down as well. Now Turbo is going to lose his northern expansion. He's going to lose the cliff. This is no bueno. No bueno, sir. All right. Turin has made the jump to T2 Land. He's now making the jump to T3. So skipping T2 Land entirely. Is just going for the throat here. Gun speed now on the way for Turbo. And getting some TMD up as well. Something a lot of people forget. Me most of all. TMD. There are a lot of times where I'm like microing my units up at the front line, and I'm like, what happened to all of my mass? And what happened to my T2 HQ? And why is my comm now exploding? And it's like, oh yeah, tactical missiles. Those are a thing. We do have a T2 transport. Huh. I wonder what we're doing with a T2 transport. He's hiding it, though. I'm going to try and hide it down here. Also going for gunships. So that is gun speed and range done on the commander. And gunships are now moving, making their way downtown. I think we might be about to see a comm drop. We'll see how that works out for him, though. Turin's going for shield. So, and he does have gun speed and range, so he's going to take a little bit more than harsh language to take that comm down. But Turbo is on the clock, for sure. For sure. As T3 land is now just completing. Going to work on sniper bots there for Turin. And even going for shield heavy. So I think Turin senses that there's some funny business going on here. And is going to try and just beef up his comm as much as possible. Though it might be good to just move that sucker back to the base. I mean, you could fight with it, I guess, but you don't really need it. You got T3 land. Push out like 3 or 4 sniper bots and then like 5-6 harbs and GG easy. Turbo did recapture, though, all these mexes and does have them queued up. So... and that's a shield heavy canceled actually there for Turin. Yeah, Turin's just going to be like, yep, we're going to move out. We're going to take off. But gunships are massing here for Turbo. And trying to get a scout, trying to get a read. Does he know where... he does not know where Turin's comm is. Right off the bat. I think he last got a read on it between these two mexes, but he now sees that they're not there. And, oh, hello there, my beautiful friends. Got mercies. All right, this is going to get spicy. This is going to get spicy. See how this one works out for him. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. It's a bold strategy. You. Yes, you, Cotton. With your cotton-colored eyes. That is a bold strategy, sir. But I love it. I dig it. This is definitely like a Hail Mary play. It's like, I have no win condition outside of this, so might as well take my best shot, go for the best. But he's going to have to be sneaky. He's going to have to be stealthy. What does Turin's radar coverage look like? Okay, it's pretty good. It looks good. It's got a T2 radar right up there. And he's got T1 radars down covering the side as well. So the side that Turbo wants to launch an attack from, he will be able to see it coming. Where did the Mercies go? Okay, they're all down here. So you got 5 Mercies down here. 54 seconds of fuel on them. This is going to take crackerjack timing. As the sniper bots are advancing, we're up to 4 now, accompanied by mobile shield generators and a T1 escort. Turin's looking to tighten the noose here a little bit. He's going to send another gunship around the back. Does have a couple of swift winds, Turbo that is. So he's going to do some, going to go for some Independence Day action there and plow the road. Oof. Spectre didn't even stand a chance. Poor guy. Okay. Turbo's comm is where? It is very important that I know where this comm is. Hold up. I lost him. The transport's there, so he hasn't moved yet. Where'd the comm go? I don't want to miss this play. Where did the comm go? Like, real talk. Turbo? Hello? Where's your commander? Oh, he's right here. Okay. Sneaky guy. A little sneaky. Okay, so here are the Harbs, though. They're going to cut up this Eruptor like a hot knife would go through butter. Continue moving in, and really it's just like sniper bots are just going to like creep into range, take out as much as they can. There is a sniper bot out for Turbo, so Turbo does have T3 land for what it's worth. He's got 2 sniper bots out, as well as a mobile shield. I want to stay on this action, but I'm keeping like a laser focus on this comm over here. If I miss that, I will have to recast this game. And I don't want to recast the game. I like working just hard enough. I don't like working any harder than I have to. Okay. So, Harbs make contact. Transport. Comm is on the transport. Okay. Alright. Zoom out here. He's got his fighter screen going. He's going to go and try and take out these interceptors. A couple of Swiftwinds in there. Comm is moving around down south. You got the Mercies. You got the Spectres all queued up. Okay. Air is being distracted. And I think he's actually just going to win this air fight. Alright, here we go, baby. Here we go. Here we go. Scout's going out. Looking for the commander. He's got a lock. And that guy is going straight in. Right on top of Turbo's head. Alright, so Turbo does have this shield up. And it's a really good thing that he didn't have any Swiftwinds. Alright. Comm is down. The gunships are incoming. There is flak though, so those gunships are not going to help out a whole lot. Mercy's come in. Oh, just barely. Enough fuel. That's going to take out all of Turin's shields. He's trying to get point defense up as quickly as he can. But now he's running away from his point defense. You don't run away. Run to your point defense. Oh, this is gonna be close. This is gonna be close. Lots of eruptors. Oh. And Turin has been defeated, and Turbo actually control Ks literally the split second after. So that is technically a win for Turbo. We're gonna go to a game 3, boys. We're gonna go to a game 3, and you gotta think like Turbo in that game. He's like going full mom spaghetti. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the pros like are just like, yeah, it's another comm drop, another Mercy snipe with some gunships over the top of me. It's like I can hear my heart like pounding through my forehead whenever I do something like that, and it's like so bad that like my wife downstairs would be like, "Hey, can you stop trying to go for a laser snipe? Because I can hear your heart pounding through the ceiling." Yeah. And then she starts telling me that I have like a history of high blood pressure and it's not healthy and everything like that. But anyway, all right, let's move on to the third. Let's move on to the third game. Okay, see you guys back in a second. Alrighty, and we are back for game number 3. Incidentally, on Twin Rivers. That's weird. Yeah. So okay, they're gonna call this game 3. I was curious whenever I was like, same placement and same map. So anyway, let's go ahead and go into our split screen booth. These guys going for pretty much the same openings. Sort of. Turbo's changing it up a little bit. He's not putting as many power generators as close to each other. He's like, yeah, that was terrible last game. I don't want to do that again. Is going to have nightmares of T1 bombers destroying his entire power grid. And I should clarify, my wife does not yell at me. She's actually way nicer to me than she should be. That was all for comedic effect. Shock value, as they say. Something like that. Hope y'all are all electrocuted. Actually, I don't hope that. I don't know where I'm going. Guests have had some dark humor recently. But, okay, so 3 power generators. First land, grab the mexes. Go for more power, second air. And then Turin going for similar deal. Just with a different little formation here. He also grabs the mexes with an engineer instead of... He grabs at least one of them with an engineer instead of his comm. And that does put him up by 1 power generator right off the bat. But Turbo has a couple more engineers that are a little bit further out as far as grabbing expansions. So, you know, it all evens out in the end. Except for when it doesn't, and then one player wins. That's kind of... I guess it doesn't all even out in the end. It kind of evens out in the end. I'm going to stop now and continue on. Okay. But second air for both of these guys. And then we'll go back to single screen here. Because we do have an Aurora this time and a Spirit instead of a Flare and a Spirit like we saw last time. Meanwhile, Turbo is going for Flares and Spirits as before. So he's got the Spirits out, doing a little bit of perimeter scouting, making sure that there's no hanky-panky, no funny business going on here. And I guess the Flares are just going to go out. They're going to go out on their own. No support. The Flare's like, let me run. I'm a peacock, Captain. You gotta let me fly. Doesn't need any spirits. Doesn't need any partner. He's all good. I mean, I guess that's true. Like, the Spirit is really the one here that got the wooden gun. That's used, like, for ceremonial purposes. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's one of the greatest movies ever, in my opinion. Just go look up cop movie with a wooden gun. You will not be disappointed. So, Turbo saw that bomber and was like, no, I'm not dealing with that again. Except now he's pulling his engineers back in again. So there's definitely 2 engineers that are vulnerable here. 2 sets of 2. Alright, he's going to grab 1, but he rushed up that anti-air turret. Bomber does survive, though. Lives to fight another day. That's going to go hunt for some engineers up north. Second one, not going to be so lucky. Interceptor grabs it before it gets in there. Yeah. Turbo did not want to deal with bombers this time, although he's still... I mean, he's arguably in just as bad a shape from this one. Let's see if the NG can dodge it. Yep, nice juke. Nice little juke there. Interceptor dispatched. Bomber on 23 HP. That's not going to last very long. Meanwhile, on the southern side of the map, it would appear that 1 flare has gone down. A reclaim engineer is dead. This mex was completed, but a flare damaged it. And that is going to be the end of the second Peacock's life. The Peacock had its wings clipped. And I guess will continue to remain a flightless bird. But otherwise, it's looking like a much more even start. Turbo has power. You might even say he's wait for it. He's turbo powered. Yeah. Look at that. He thought it was funny. He's bobbing his head. Yeah. Okay. But Turbo does have power, so it's looking like a much more even start right now. We got 5 coming up on 6 land factories there for Turbo. Turin got 6 land factories up, so very close to the number of land factories. Turin, though, running away with it as far as overall mass accrued. So 7.8 to 5.5. Turbo with kind of a low mass income right now. He's left a good amount of reclaim on the table that Turin is prioritizing a little bit more. And is Turin upgrading? So Turin's upgrading mexes already. He's got 1 on the way to T2. and Turbo is rocking all T1 mexes right now with none upgrading. So we'll see how this ends up shaking out in the long term. But even though Turin is going for a little bit more of a eco-heavy play, it doesn't look like he's sacrificed that much in terms of unit numbers. He has not made a play, though, for this northern island, while if you look down here, Turbo's got that little distance build on lock with the engineer. I feel like this would be a great place to send a bomber, like right about 5-6 minutes. Just have it go hang out here. Because if you're going to distance build, that engineer, it took it probably 3 minutes to get there. This Turbo bats away some opposing Auroras. Incidentally, both these guys going Aeon again. So I'm not sure whether they just really believe in Aeon on this map, or whether they thought this was going to be a re because the last one was a draw, or they thought that the last one was a draw and just picked Aeon before Morax and I think it's Morax and Arch were kind of the ones overseeing this. Told them that it was actually a win there for Turbo by like a half a second. Either way, though, I'm happy with the way that he won the game. It was an epic win. Little interceptors are just like, please get me out of here. And this one interceptor is just like, nope, you're mine, buddy. But much quieter start overall to this game. I think both players might be going for a little bit of a different strategy here. So 2 T2 mexes there for Turbo. And looking here, we've got 2 as well for Turin. Turin also up to T2 land. Whereas Turbo, not quite there. Does he have one in the process? Yeah, so he's 25% to an HQ on one of his factories. Turbo just seems like 30 seconds behind Turin in what I've seen in this game so far. Like, so Turbo does not have a comm upgrade yet. Turin going for gun range. And Turin's gone to T2. Turbo's clicked up, but has not completed the upgrade yet. So it just seems like very, very slightly behind across the board. Which, I don't know. I don't know if that's a bad thing or not. One thing he did get ahead of was grabbing this island. He's had this island for like a solid 2 or 3 minutes of airtime, while Turin is just now airlifting. And actually, Turbo airlifting as well. And Turbo with inties in the vicinity. So that drop is going to be denied, right? Yep, that's going to be denied. All right, so I was giving Turbo shit about how slow he was playing, but here we go, you know. Got both of the little side expansions. Goes for gun range upgrade. And is now at T2, pushing out T2 engineers right now. Went for quick flak in the last game. Not seeing him do the same thing this game, though. As T1 forces will engage. This is going to be a good fight there for Turbo. Superior numbers. Definitely making sure that his units ate their Wheaties this morning. Making sure they had all the turbo fuel they could get. This is not going to get old. I'm going to cast Turbo from like now until the end of time, and I'm going to make all the Turbo puns ever. Like now he's going for gun speed. Obviously, he drank an energy drink so that he could get more powerful. Become turbocharged. What is it, C4's energy drink? I think that's turbocharged. Yeah, so he drank a C4. Now he's getting turbocharged. Turin going for chrono dampener though. That is a really dirty upgrade. Gonna be super hard to deal with. Turbo dropping in the back, though, on Turin's plateau. There's a point defense to deal with it in a bomber, so at the end of the day, he loses a mechs. Not the end of the world. And Turin actually going for a shield upgrade now. So, shield v chrono. I can tell you, the chrono dampener is essentially on par with like DDoSing your opponent. Like, that's it. Like, you get your opponent's IP address and you just DDoS the shit out of them. That's what chrono dampener does. It's just like, imagine like 50% packet loss, all of your orders won't go through, your units won't move, they won't tag. That's what chrono dampener does. It's annoying. It's very, very strong. Very, very strong. I don't know why we don't see it more. I feel like I don't see it a whole lot in 1v1 games. I see it a lot in team games. I know it's Willow's like favorite thing in the world. I think he becomes aroused just if somebody mentions the word chrono dampener. All right. So, shields, lots of shields, like an ungodly number of shields moving out here. No like offensive T2 units that I can see. Okay, there's a handful of obsidians in here. But Turbo is making a push on the northern side of this big obelisk in the middle. I'm going to take down a Serpentine, as well as a T2 NG, which is going to be good. Elsewhere on the map, though, it's mostly just like the odd air engagement. No huge commitment being made either way. Actually, I take that back. Here we go. Huge commitment. Right as I say, no huge commitment. You got to do this. Turin going in with his comm. Gun, speed, range, chrono dampener, the whole nine. Oblivion point defense being rushed up there by Turbo. That should at least make Turin think twice about continuing to advance. Unless, it gets overcharged and then destroyed almost immediately. Or it doesn't attack the commander. Turbo bringing his own commander to deal with this. That's what I mean by DDoSing, right? It's just like, by the way, 50% of the time, your units don't move. Does have some blazes, though, in the mix. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so called him 1 because of the chrono. And Turin just kind of dancing back and forth here. Working that fancy footwork. Turbo, though, might be able to just go mano-a-mano here with the shield. But Turin gaining huge amounts of veterancy here, up to 3 ranks in vet. Turbo not at any rank in vet yet, so. And now we got the blazes coming through. And the obsidians going in on Turbo's comm. Gets a asylum to grant him asylum. We do have some blazes and obsidians of Turbo's own in the background. Gonna get through his shield, but thinks it's a little risky. I guess he doesn't really know what's back here, but in reality, these land units don't really present much of a threat to the commander. That's interesting, though. A couple of Auroras have made it down to tickle a mix. So, big offensive maneuver. Did not really pan out there for Turin. Now he's getting pelted by Turbo's commander. I think Turbo right now is just like, hey, can you please get rid of my shield so that I can go back and have it recharge faster? That's like the only reason I can think of he would be pursuing this so aggressively with this many obsidians, and that being a chrono comm. Ooh, shield disruptors in the back as well. That's handy. So T3 land for Turbo. Been so focused on the action. Still have T2 land there for Turin. And Turin, I don't think has gone up with air at all yet. So T3 land there for Turbo. No T2 air, as I can see. So, but we do have some sniper bots back here. And Turin now forced, I think, to make a move here. Because he's got absolvers, he's got sniper bots. He can stay out of range and just kind of pick him off and whittle him down. Oh, that was a weird whatever that was. Turin down to 7,000 HP, under 50%. Turbo just kind of bobbing and weaving, using that float like a Cadillac, sting like a Beamer mentality. Also getting some point defense down, additional point defense. And his commander is now racking up some veterancy of its own, so 2 ranks of veterancy on Turbo's comp. And Turin, I think, just once again being forced into a more aggressive position than he wants to be from these sniper bots. Chrono Dampener is doing work. These shield absolvers, man, they're making it really, really difficult. Oh, please overcharge that. Please overcharge that. Please overcharge that. Please? Please? No, he's not going to. Turbo, I thought we were friends, man. Thought we were friends. Actually, I've never met the guy, so we might not be friends. Do the absolvers work on unit shields as well? It doesn't look like it. It looks like they only work on AoE shields. I'm not 100% positive. Although those obsidians look like they evaporated really, really quickly, so maybe they do. I'm trying to see like one that gets stuck. Actually, okay, Turin's actually going to go down here. Goodbye. Good game, well played, sir. Right? Hello? He dies here, right? Okay, yeah, there we go. Another sniper shot coming in. Okay, so Turbo takes the series 2-1 in good fashion there. So I think much better showing in game 2, although he didn't have like a blackout for 2 to 3 minutes in the early stages of the game. So that undoubtedly helped him a lot. But in game 2, just great way to come back into the game. Well played by both sides, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to see me do like more kind of tournament videos like this, let me know down in the comments below. I do like hearing what you guys like, what you guys dislike. So yeah, while you're down there, click that big red button and then the little bell next to it, and then the thumbs up icon as well, just in case anybody gets confused. That's the like and subscribe buttons. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.